Good morning, y'all. Well, it is day 98, and I stayed last night at that Filbert bed and breakfast slash hostel slash inn, I guess. And it was pretty nice. I had in my own room, and then had breakfast this morning, and then they dropped me back off at the trail. And again, the rocks are the same. They're no different than yesterday. In fact, I'm standing because I can't walk through all these rocks and video at the same time. It's brutal. And I'm still pretty swollen and banged up, to be honest. So I'm going to do 15 miles today. That'll get me into Wind Gap, Pennsylvania. And I think I'm going to get a room again. There's just no tenting and there's no water available on either side of that, and I can't really push to do 20 miles. In fact, 15 and what I heard is about the max you can do today and be safe. So I don't want to press my luck. I'm keep moving, but I definitely got a swollen knee, and my thigh as well. I didn't realize I had landed on that as well, but it's pretty sore. So I don't want to stop and take a zero. I want to at least make miles every day. But yeah, I am going to take advantage of, there's just a small little hiker motel there, the Gateway or something. And I'm going to stay there. So 15 miles today. And you know, what I asked the innkeeper and other hikers and comments is, it's no different. It's just, as I stand here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Hold on just a second. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea. There's no way you can record and look at the rocks and have one hand on your pole and one hand on his phone. So yeah, it's a bloody mess. But I got 30 miles to the New Jersey line, and supposedly when I cross the river, it does get a little better. So like I said, there's been a few people, I already saw some of the comments, they just said to heck with it, and they got off trail, and they went and shuttled to New Jersey. So, yeah, that's what's going on. It's cloudy, but there's some blue sky peeking through, and I don't think it's supposed to rain. It rained last night, unbeknownst to me. I was sleeping pretty well, but the ground is definitely puddled and wet, so I'm glad I was inside. So that's the story. Still sore, but making progress, just not as quick as I can, as well as the cumbersome rocks that I have to deal with. So let's get going. In 1848, a young immigrant and experienced slate worker arrived in America and didn't have to travel far to find the motherlode of slate right here in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania. Slate is a beautiful, very durable blue-gray rock that's formed over millions of years, and it has a distinctive grain that allows it to be split into thin sheets. Quarries increased through the late 1800s, and it became very profitable as slate was being used for blackboards and gravestones, but its major singular purpose was for the production of roofing tiles. It's highly resistant to weathering and can last hundreds of years, as houses here and all the way to Philadelphia can attest. Unfortunately, 60 to 80% of slate quarried was deemed unfit for use, and it was subsequently left in refuse piles up to 100 feet high, which still dot the countryside. In 1903, production hit its highest point, and it was the largest slate producing area in the world, and it contributed significantly to the Pennsylvania economy. But the 1900s saw the advent of a cheaper type, lighter asphalt roofing, which required less skilled labor to apply, and it required thinner beams and load-bearing structures, which cut down on housing costs. The decline also was affected by World War I, when men left home and they didn't really return to work here at the quarries, followed by the Great Depression. But the area brought four major quarrying groups of immigrants: Welsh, English, German, and Italians, and smaller numbers of Scots, Irish, and French Huguenots. But it also made this area one of the many melting pot areas of Pennsylvania. Hey y'all. Well, day 98 is coming to an end, and it was 15 miles, but boy, it took me right at 8 hours to get here. And again, wasn't big inclines. There was a small one when I left, and then there was a small descent coming into town here at Wind Gap, where I am, where I'm staying tonight. But it was just the rocks. Again, I think of the 15 miles, 14 of them were just continuous rocky terrain, just slow going, having to watch every step. And there was about 1 mile that was just soft soil, flat, easy. But yeah, it only lasted for 1 mile. But boy, just the monotony of having to watch every single step. It's hard to explain. It's just so mentally taxing to have to. You can't look at your surroundings, can't look at the sky, because you have to watch every single step. It's just that rocky. I don't know how many of y'all have ever hiked in Pennsylvania, but boy, it's true. You hit Duncannon, and they say the next 120 miles are nothing but rocks, and that's pretty accurate. And it's just tedious work, but part of the AT, and you just got to take it in stride. But boy, it does get monotonous at times, I have to admit. But I'm here, and my feet, toes, knee, and thigh are still sore and hurting, but I was able to get the 15 miles in, which is what I wanted to do. And tomorrow is another 15 as well, and that will get me to the Pennsylvania-New Jersey line. And I think I'm going to stay at a hostel there at the Presbyterian Church. And then from there, I have to figure out, cross the river and go into New Jersey and figure out what I'm going to do the next 4 or 5 nights. Again, I'm just trying to get to Fort Montgomery, New York, where I can catch the train, which will get me to Grand Central Station and make some changes and transfers, and eventually get to LaGuardia Airport for a flight, which is on Saturday. So if I could do it quicker and get there Friday evening, I might stay with my daughter over in Brooklyn. But if not, I can get in there Saturday and still make my flight that early evening. And that is it. Just the monotony of the of the rocks. It just is mind-boggling how taxing that is. But a beautiful day, good weather. It was, I think the high was around 81 or 82. No rain, and there wasn't a lot of big ups or downs, like I said, and very little wildlife today. But yeah, I'm still sore. I'm definitely not better. Maybe a little bit improved, but not totally healed by any means. So another reason I just did 15 miles. But that's it. So get up tomorrow and head the next 15. And my understanding is it still rocks, and then I'll be at Delaware Water Gap, and we'll be at the end of Pennsylvania. So it's all good. All right. We'll see y'all in the morning. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.